Welcome to Something in the Wild. I'm your host, Tyler Smith. With me, the lovely, the beautiful, my guest host, Sammi Faloon. And my guest host, Mr. Bean. Say hi to the people at home, Bean.
You gave me a kiss.
Can you hear that? Okay. All right. So this episode is going to be a little bit different. We don't really have a script. We just cooked dinner. And we're kind of just hanging out, just shooting the shit, talking about what's going on in our life, what we did this weekend, updates on the garden, updates on the South Park Planning Commission meeting, which was very, very cool, very exciting stuff, and I'm looking forward to talking to you about it.
Yes, me too.
Okay, so let's get right into it. I think the first thing that we should probably talk about is the South Park meeting. Because
yes, how was it?
It was awesome. I went. She didn't get a seat saved, so sorry.
I watched on the live stream, though.
Yes. And that is a testament to the amount of people that showed up. It was absolutely amazing.
Yeah, there was like a whole separate room. I never asked you, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so, excuse me. So, basically, they, for the first Planning Commission meeting, whenever they were first reviewing this development, they had all the chairs set up in the main, I don't even know what you would call it. I'm sure there's some technical term, but
room.
Yeah, it was.
There's like a desk at the front.
Yeah, it was
it's like a big, how you would see in like a courtroom, kind of. It seems like.
Yes.
And
yeah.
all of the board.
Yes.
Sat up there.
Yep. Yeah, there was 6 of them, 6 or 7.
Yeah, something like that.
And yeah, so they all sat up front, and then there was this big room. They had a bunch of chairs sitting around. On the left side, they had the county engineer, and then 2 other folks with the county engineer. I'm not sure exactly what their jobs were. And then on the other side, there was the representative for the development. So it was an engineer, I'm presuming. He kind of went through the plans and was able to shed some light on the concerns at the beginning during the last meeting. And then the people of South Park had the opportunity to talk. And they came up to the podium. They were, talking and expressing their concerns. A lot of stuff, very, very well said. Diane and Tim did a great job starting it off. And it was very touching stuff. It almost brought a tear to my eye,
Yeah.
It's cool to see. It was cool to experience because it's just like, it's so American. Like it was such an American thing that we did, and it might sound like I'm romanticizing it a little bit, which I might be, but it's like, there's this development that's going up. They're planning on cutting down thousands of trees in this 64-acre plot of land to put up 108 houses, essentially ruining some people's property, creating a whole lot of issues.
Well, that was what was cool, I think, is what you're trying to say is like, I could be wrong, but it was like a whole, you could see the community come together. It was people that like lived on that street that are going to be directly affected by it, kind of speaking their truth, if you will. Mm-hmm. And everyone was cheering each other on, kind of. Is honestly kind of crazy, at least from what I saw on the live stream. But I feel like you don't see that a lot anymore. Like people being coming together, like besides sporting events.
Yeah.
For something that they're all agreeing on.
Yeah, it was really, and that's exactly what I was trying to get at, is it's so refreshing, and it really like gave me like a strong sense of community, because everyone was against this development. Like I haven't met a single person that was pro development, and if you've been following along with that story, you can kind of understand where we're coming from. I mean, there was a bunch of negatives. And if you skip back 2 episodes, whenever I interviewed Tim and Diane, kind of like on like a one-on-one type interview, they shed a lot of light into it, and it was really cool to see.
And actually, I didn't even tell you this yet. I think it's in Peters Township where they're having another, like, everyone's pretty upset because they're trying to develop, like, buy this pond or lake or something. I actually saw two things, one in Peters and one somewhere else, but it's kind of interesting because now it seems like it's happening everywhere.
Yeah.
At least around here.
Yeah. I mean, this is where, like, you know, this is where the biggest issue of urban development is, you know, right in the suburbs. Specifically, you know, I'm sure it's like this in other cities, but, like, specifically in Pittsburgh, I mean, we've just been noticing developments going up left and right. You know, especially my hometown, Cranberry Township. You know, there's every time I go up to visit my parents, there's another development. So I think that people are. I think people are finally starting to take a stand and, you know, just, you know, they're sick and tired of seeing their, you know, precious green space get all used up, you know, because once you develop on a piece of land, it's never going back to the way it was.
Yeah.
It's never
and
going
all the
back.
problems that come with it.
Yeah, just the
Just
runoff
to
issues.
Make more money, just to fit more people into one space.
And yeah, taxpayers and all that stuff. And instead, you know, really turning around and thinking about the long-term effects, you know. What is it? What are the effects that are maybe unforeseen at the moment, but could have a huge impact on the people that have lived there for their whole lives. So.
Yeah, so now it goes to the Board of Supervisors.
So the Planning Commission, if you guys do not know, they voted to not recommend the development, which is a huge step because the Board of Supervisors weighs heavily on the Planning Commission's opinion. So they voted to not recommend. Now it gets voted on with the Board of Supervisors, and the supervisors either accept phase 1 or reject it. And I think that the people of South Park really need to show up again and express their concerns again to the Board of Supervisors, just to put the final nail in the coffin, make sure that it gets shut down for good. And then after that, hopefully we'll be able to figure out a way to get the Allegheny Land Trust involved, hopefully put an offer down on the property and get it saved permanently. He's whining. So yeah, just getting it saved permanently, and then eventually having it donated to the county to add to the public trust, which is the county park of South Park. Awesome story. I actually met a videographer there. His name was Antonio, and he's making a little bit of a documentary about the whole issue. So, you know, once that comes out, I'll be sure to share, and, you know, hopefully you guys enjoy that and enjoy the process. It very, very cool, and can't understate it enough, the power of, you know, the public's voice, especially with stuff that, you know, that you really disagree with. I mean, you know, everyone's spending so much time and effort to reject it is just awesome.
Yeah. They may not have, if all those people didn't show up, they may not have questioned it as much.
Exactly. It wouldn't have been under as much scrutiny, because I don't believe that the Planning Commission has ever declined. I could be wrong, but I don't think they've ever declined or not recommended a development to move forward.
That would be interesting if that's true.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that is the case. So great job, South Park. That was freaking awesome. Yes, round of applause. That was awesome to witness. Now on to what's going on in our lives. Would you like to share how the garden is coming?
Garden update.
Would you like to go?
There's not really much of an update. No, there is. We cleaned everything out. When? A few weeks ago?
Yeah.
Probably about a month, maybe.
Yeah, it was like 3 weeks ago or so.
Sorry, to sneeze. We started the seeds inside in February. Is that right?
Yeah, I think so.
I think that was too early. Well, I don't know.
How about this? Okay, I'm gonna stop you right there. So Tim, one of my coworkers, he's big into gardening as well. He started his tomato plants in February, and his was like this tall,
What's wrong with
like
ours?
8 to 10 inches tall.
What? No way.
Yeah, I'll literally send you a picture of it tomorrow. It's huge. It might be a different subspecies
How?
of tomato.
Yeah, we are growing. I did plant a few seeds, and they're kind of growing a different. Like I planted
rates.
from different like packs, and they're just growing like in different. Like you can tell they're different types, just the way they're growing.
I got you. Yeah.
Some of them are. Shh. Really. Tell us more. Our zucchinis are huge. That's the one that's like going off right now. Some of the other ones though, I think I might do like a second round of seeds, which is kind of late, but I'm interested to see what exactly those will do. Because some of them, they're all growing, but some of them are on the smaller side, so I'm not really sure if they're going to survive when they're outside. That would be the true test. But I have been putting all of them outside for like longer periods of time. I haven't done it in a while because it was like raining. But this is from Google. I don't know if it's right, but you're supposed to get them like acclimated to the outdoors. So I'll just set them outside for like 30 minutes one day and then like an hour and then longer, mainly when it's sunny, to get them acclimated. But I don't really know if that does anything.
Strengthens them up. I mean, in theory, it makes sense. I don't know. I don't see how it could hurt them.
Yeah.
You know? I think it just like expose them to the wind a little bit, strengthen them up, you know?
I got grow lights from Amazon, and I've had the light on them like 24/7. And then I shut it off for a while, and I do not think they were doing well. I think they were starting to die. Because
From the light.
No, without the light.
Oh, really?
I thought it was maybe too much light, but I think that's helping them. Especially,
Well, we don't really get a whole lot of light in the
That's
house.
true.
We don't get a whole lot of natural light. I mean, you should take a look at our windowsill, and you can probably see it on my Instagram. But
you can insert a picture.
Yes.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Specifically, what wasn't doing well were the spinach ones, the lettuce, and the peppers. The peppers really have been doing well in the light, more light.
Yeah.
But they grow very slowly, at least the ones that we have.
Yeah.
But yeah, so then outside we have onions and garlic. The garlic just started coming up.
Peeking through the soil.
Like, when do you think we planted them? I guess about a month ago.
It was the same time that we redid the whole thing, so like 3 weeks.
Yeah. And then we just put more cloves in today. And we have onions out there. But I'm not really sure how those work because they're like mini onions. And they sprout out the top.
Were they mini? I thought they were just little bulbs.
They're little bulbs, but I was like reading about them and it said like you can take the stuff off the top, but I'm not. What?
Nothing.
I'm not really sure if the onion itself is gonna grow.
Oh, you're
like,
saying
below.
You're saying that you take off the actual sprout, the stuff that's over
I know
the
you
top.
can, like that's what it said on the package, but I don't know like if the onion grows bigger.
It has to, you'd think, right?
I don't know, I guess.
I mean, how do onions actually grow? You know, they start out small, right? I'm sorry, Ko. We got all the dogs around. Ko's at our feet. Bean's on the lap.
Yeah, I mean, I would think so, but I don't really know. Because the way that you plant them is you plant the bulb, like, almost half out of the soil. Whoops. So it's not, like, fully in. I don't know, though.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and I think that they expand their roots into the ground a little bit. I mean, they're really tall right now. And you'd think that there'd have to be a little bit of root system to hold it up because...
Yeah. Some of them are, like, falling over, though, so we'll see.
Oh, really?
I just don't think those were deep enough, but it is good progress so far.
Yeah. For our first time, I mean, it's not that bad. We got a bunch of plants that are started and growing inside. Towards the end of May, we're going to put them outside, and hopefully they Hopefully they survive. I think whenever we get Tim's plan in, we should probably put that one in the terracotta pot, like the one sitting right outside.
Why?
And just have it like a separate one, you know?
Why?
I don't know. We don't have to, but
I mean, we can.
yeah. Yeah, so that's kind of the garden update. I think we're making good progress. Now we need to start getting some canning stuff. Mm-hmm. So, you know, we'll see. That'll be another endeavor. Try and learn how to can. Learning recipes, salsas,
if all goes as
sauces.
planned, we will have an abundance.
Yeah. And we're going to need it because we're running out of meat. So
that's our other update.
Yeah.
We're almost out of elk.
We're almost out. Oh my gosh. I didn't realize it until today, and we got like 5 more packs of ground. We had 70 packs of ground meat. We're down to 5.
What?
Or 6. I don't know. I didn't count them, but like the bottom row is sporadic.
All we have left are roasts and just roasts.
Roasts and steaks. We honestly could grind those if we wanted to, because ground is just so like, oh my gosh.
Versatile.
Dad, if you're listening to this, I told you we should have made more ground meat. You always need ground meat. We're running out of ground meat. Thankfully, though, we do have a doe that I shot.
Yeah, true. We need to grind.
We probably got like 15 to 20 pounds of venison, lean venison, so nothing mixed in with it yet. We could probably get like 5 pounds. Yeah, we'll get 5 pounds of fat. Mm-hmm. It's probably 10 to 15, and then like 2 to 5 pounds of fat, and we'll mix that all together. So we'll end up with, you know, maybe 15 to 20 pounds.
We're barely gonna make it.
We're not gonna make it. I don't think we're gonna make it.
How many months
September.
has it been?
So we got that in September, October, November, December, January, February, March, April. 7 months. That's pretty damn good. Not buying meat for 7 months.
Yeah, that's really good, but I feel like everyone thought it would last because we wouldn't, like, we'd be like, oh, you're sick of elk. We literally eat it for every meal.
Every single meal that we cook, we eat elk meat. And
it's either elk or shrimp.
Yeah, and I'm not
venison.
sick of it. Are you sick of it?
No, sometimes I'm like, ugh, I don't want another like steak.
The roast.
Or like the roasts are what is the hardest because you can really only make them a certain number of ways.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And like you can cut them into cubes, make them into bowls and stuff, but at the end of the day, it's like, oh my gosh, another roast. Or like, oh my gosh, more steaks. I think steaks are what do it for me. It's, you know, you can only have so many steaks at any given time, but you know, you can cut them into cubes and make like stews and bowls and stuff like that.
True,
so
yeah. We can't really complain.
Yeah, I mean,
at all.
I mean, the amount of money that it has saved us, like, you know, tags are expensive, especially out-of-state tags, especially elk tags. They're hyper expensive. I mean, like, I probably spent $1,000 on that tag, but the amount of meat that we got and the amount of money that we saved. If you're gonna eat it, man, it is worth it.
Oh yeah.
I mean, we're so used to not buying meat. I can't imagine what our grocery bill is gonna be like whenever we have to go back.
I will not buy meat.
No.
Maybe like
we're just gonna go vegetarian.
Honestly.
Well, what I was getting at was that now that we're running out of meat, it's coming at the perfect time because now we're gonna be able to start growing vegetables. So instead of having to go to the store to get vegetables, we're just gonna have to go to the store to get meat. Maybe we should buy a cow, like a quarter of a cow. No.
I don't want a cow.
Not a live cow. I'm talking about like some beef, like a live. We're having graze in our backyard, our quarter acre. No, we're gonna get a quarter beef, a quarter of a cattle. You know, just like
hopefully we'll have turkey.
Yeah. Well, that's another update. Well, great segue. Let's go into turkey hunting. I am so excited for turkey season this year. It has already started in Ohio. Yes.
Couldn't tell.
Yes. Yeah. I know. I hide it very well. I hide it very well. No, it's opening up in Pennsylvania, turkey season opens up this Saturday.
Boop, boop.
I'm going out with Jake. Jake, I can't wait. I'm so excited. We're gonna have a great time. I don't know if you've ever been hunting before, but I'm excited to share the experience. I think once you get past the fact that you got to get up at 4:00 in the morning, it's not too bad.
Wouldn't be me.
You're gonna go one of these times, maybe. I got 2 turkey tags for PA. Got 1 turkey tag for Ohio. I've been going out every these past couple weekends. Haven't really had too much luck. The first weekend I went out, I heard a couple gobbles, but the places I've been going to have been just so thick. Like, so thick to the point where, like, I have to, like, crawl on my hands and knees to get wherever I want to go. It's crazy, the woods that these turkeys live in.
Yeah, they're his arch nemesis.
They literally are. I've been turkey hunting for 3 years. Have not got... Well, this is my 3rd year. Have not shot one yet. Last year was the closest I came, and I could have very easily shot one, but I did not know if it was a Jake or a hen. So, like, a Jake is like a young male, a hen is a female. You can only shoot bearded turkeys, which are the male turkeys. Sometimes hens have beards, but it's very rare. So, the regulation is a bearded turkey.
They can have beards.
Yeah, hens can.
Why
It's very
does that
rare.
happen?
It's just like a genetic mutation. Sometimes.
So if you shoot one,
it's legal.
and it's a hen with a beard.
Yeah, it's legal. Yeah, it's pretty crazy, but yeah, you definitely don't want to do that just because the population of turkeys kind of relies on the hen population to be very healthy. So once a turkey gets to mature age, like. Not even mature age, just any male. If you shoot the males, it really doesn't have a huge effect on the population because the hens have broods of little poults that run around and they just need one, either a Jake or Tom, to breed them. And then once they're bred and they have their brood of eggs, you don't really have to worry about them. I mean, they just kind of are out there. It's a tough world for a chicken around here. A turkey. Tough world for a turkey around here because coyotes and foxes and stuff like that. But, their population is very healthy in Pennsylvania. It's actually one of the few states that is having consistent hunter harvest numbers and population growth. There's some states down south, Oklahoma, Arkansas, that general area that the turkey population's actually declining a little bit, but nothing that we can't recover from. I mean, the story of the turkey repopulation effort is amazing. I did an episode on that like 3 episodes back. If you want to check that out, it's very, very cool. So yeah, hopefully we get some turkey meat here in a little bit, and that'll supplement our diet for maybe a month. Also, we need some fish.
September.
Yes, hopefully.
Yes.
That's the goal, is getting to September. If we can get to September, that's whenever, fingers crossed, we can have some luck. We can get another elk.
And a mule deer.
That'll be in October, though.
Yeah.
September, archery elk, muzzleloader elk. October, rifle mule deer. And I am also incredibly excited
And then
for.
a buck. A whitetail buck, hopefully.
And then a whitetail. And then several doe.
That's what you always say.
I know.
And then we end up with 1 deer.
I know. I'm getting better.
Tell them about the first deer. This will be a good story. The first deer that you brought back here to the house.
Oh my gosh.
That you didn't. That was just. Shall I describe it?
No. Here, I'll tell the story, and then you can add commentary.
And then I'll give my point of view.
Yeah. So this was my first time. Actually, no. That's a lie. This is my first time hunting around the house, the new house. I had a couple doe tags. This was back in 2023. 2020? No, 2022 when we moved here.
2022? Yeah, I guess so.
Yep.
Maybe
2022. Early season was probably early October-ish. And I had my tags for some doe and a buck. Ended up drawing back on a doe, shot, boom, picked up blood right away. It was kind of a far back hit, like a liver shot, so I had to back out. Went back the next morning with Koa, and we were just scouring this place. It was like, it was Friday morning. So it was Thursday night whenever I shot it. I had to come back Friday morning before work with Koa, and we were just scouring the area, just trying to find this deer. And I was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe it. I can't believe that I would like screwed this up. And eventually I was like really close to giving up. So I just started walking down this trail, and Koa just took off in one direction. And I was like, oh my gosh, what's he chasing? What's he chasing? And I was right behind him, and he was on the leash, and pulled me right to the doe, right, just sitting right there on the ground. I was like, holy cow, that's awesome. So long story short, got in the truck, brought it back home, and I wanted to hang it up because I had to go to work. And it was pretty cool out. It wasn't like cold, but it was cool. So I opened up all the windows in the basement, and I cut the doe in half, right like the fourth to back rib, third or fourth rib. So just cut it in half, hung the front side on the barbell, hung the back side on the barbell, and then put a tarp on the ground. And I don't believe I told you that I had it down there.
No, you didn't. No, you did say it was down there, but I didn't know it was in half. Hanging on a freaking squat rack. So then it's like around its neck, just like hanging there. And I came down to look at it because I was like, oh, okay. And I was like, oh my God. And so then I came back upstairs.
Yeah.
It was disgusting. It was shocking.
Yeah, I should have probably.
A crime scene.
I should have probably shared a little bit, but I didn't have another option. I'm still learning the whole, I'm not super proficient.
Yeah. Wait, did we eat that one?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it went bad for some reason.
A couple parts of it weren't great, so we ended up feeding it to the dogs, which is nice whenever you have dogs because you don't have to throw away any part of the deer or elk. You can literally...
Yeah, but if it's bad, why would you give it to them?
They got stronger stomachs. Stronger stomachs than us humans.
We should preface it... No, we should not preface, I guess. We should say Koa does.
Yes. Well,
Only Koa.
That was before Bean came along.
This was BB, before Bean.
Yes. Yeah. So, yeah, we had a great harvest. Koa had so many good meals, and we were able to still scavenge some, or harvest some of it, and I would say the majority of it was still pretty good. But
so basically, a deer will never be going in our basement again unless it is cut up into coolers. It will not be hanging there.
Yes, exactly. I learned that the hard way. Now I do all of my butchering up front on the table, skin off, put it into more presentable packaging and pieces of meat. So instead of having a whole deer hanging there, skin on.
That would be ideal to let it hang now.
Yes. No, I wish I could, but we just don't have the space.
Yeah.
We just don't have the space or the room to do it. And that's okay. I mean, it doesn't affect it too much, but it is what it is.
Are you gonna spray citric oxide or
citric acid?
Acid.
Yeah. Yes. Pro tip for anyone that enjoys big game hunting and is concerned about meat quality. If you harvest game meat, if it's warm outside, whatever, even if it's cold outside, spray it with like a mix of citric acid, or it's like citric acid. They make this citric acid like granulated stuff. It's for canning. Mix that with water and spray it all over the meat. It allows the meat to develop a rind, and it keeps flies and keeps bugs off. So it's
like
I did it with the
it's
elk.
like a skin. It seems like from what I saw.
Yeah.
Like it almost looks like dry.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's the rind.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And it dries off, and it's really, really tasty. I think it keeps it good. I'm not saying the citric acid is tasty, but you can't taste any like acidity or anything. It's like whenever you butcher it up, it tastes good. It stays fresh longer. And that's just a trick for people. I learned that from hunting in warmer conditions. You want to,
or if you don't have the space.
Yes, yeah, you want to make sure that you take care of your meat, because you do not want to waste it, because you're going to be in the situation that we're in. Not saying that we waste any meat, but
just harder.
It's harder.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
Now
now one last topic. Let's talk about our float trip that we had. It was so much freaking fun. We had a blast. The dogs came along. I was in my fishing kayak. You were in the little blue kayak.
Bean learned how to swim. He doesn't like it. Bean likes land. Koa likes water.
Yes.
But I think the water was too cold.
It was pretty cold. They're like the yin and yang. They're like exact opposites in every way possible. It's really crazy.
We need to do a podcast on Bean's origin story.
Yes, that's a great idea. That's so funny.
Sleeping right now.
Yes, he's the biggest baby in the entire world, but
yeah, it was fun. It was nice to get out.
Yeah, it was sunny. It was like 80 degrees. It was, oh my gosh, it was so nice.
Yeah, it didn't feel like the end of April, like honestly.
Yeah, and the water was cold. The water was cold, but it wasn't like, it wasn't unmanageable. I mean, we were walking around in the water. Whenever we stopped to have a little snack in the middle of the float, we were standing in the water, and I wasn't cold or anything. Oh my gosh, his face.
Yeah, they both need a bath. They didn't get a bath.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were standing in the water a little bit.
Yeah, it was sunny, and it was overall very awesome. Check out my Instagram. Just posted a reel of it.
Lots of fishermen.
Yeah.
And I saw some fish.
Did you?
Mm-hmm.
Where?
I just saw 2.
In the water swimming. Were they big?
No, they were on land walking. Yes, they were swimming. No, they were just little small things. And then I saw something like pop its head out of the water at me. But I got scared, so I paddled away.
Was it a snake?
I don't know what it was. I got so scared.
Where was it at? Was it near the bank?
Yeah, kind of. But it was like in the water. I thought it was maybe a turtle, but it looked like really big. I don't know.
Oh, yeah, it probably was a turtle then. I was going to say if it was like smaller, it probably was a snake, but yeah, it's probably a turtle. But yeah. We're so lucky we have that river right next to the house that we go, and we saw a couple people, but like it was very, very, there was not a lot of people.
Not how
there.
it usually is, because we would go like around your birthday at the end of May,
Mm-hmm.
and
the end of the May.
And it was like so busy. I felt like when last time we went.
Yeah,
that was a while ago, I guess.
Yeah, it really was. But I mean, I think that relatively speaking, it's pretty chill.
Well, for how big it is, yeah.
Yes. I mean, it's a big river. The Youghiogheny is a big river.
I feel like when you get to the end, and there's usually a decent amount of people there, but because it is so big.
Yeah, that's Smithton Beach though. Is like
maybe that's what I'm thinking of. When we went, maybe we didn't even go to that one for your birthday. I don't know what I'm thinking.
We went past that one, I think. Anyway, but that's also Memorial Day. Like my birthday's at the end of May, so it's Memorial Day. Everyone's out enjoying the long weekend. So
True.
So it's usually a little bit busier. But yeah, that was kind of what was going on. So cool. I think we can kind of wrap this up. I appreciate you guys listening. Sammy, you should be on more often.
Yeah, I was really nervous my first time, but now I feel better.
She feels more comfortable.
I have my emotional support animal with me.
As long as she has Bean with her, she's okay.
He smells bad. But anyway, that's enough.
That's enough about us. I appreciate you guys tuning in. This was Something in the Wild.
Remember
to keep it wild.
Yeehaw. Bean.
Say something. And that's it. Thank you guys for listening.